Hey, what's up, you guys? I just wanted to check in and confirm that I worked my first shift at the GoPuff as a W2 employee, dollar an hour job, and made it through the whole 2 to 10 shift. Um, I like it. It was pretty cool. I had to like sit and do little training videos and take the little quizzes, and that day one of that took like freaking 3 hours. So I learned how to pack up the orders after that and did that for 5 hours until it was time to clock out. And that's all I learned. And I was working with two other people. One of them has worked there for 4 years, and I remember him from when I did the deliveries out of that location. And that guy's pretty knowledgeable about his job. But I just learned the little Honeywell scanner device and and I'm still, it's going to take a while to memorize the aisles, and they're labeled to give you the exact shelf that the item is on. And I'm, of course, not super speedy at it, but I was trying to keep track of how many I did, and I lost count. I packed up a shitload of orders. So, and you have to like click on it first before your coworkers do. And I was trying to get it right away, and the dude was snagging them somehow. Like, I'm sitting there looking at it, waiting for it to give me one, and he gives it to him. So I would have done even more, but I'm a little concerned about. I'm gonna have to learn the Starbucks. They have a Starbucks in there, and I didn't really want to do that, and that wasn't there when I did deliveries for GoPuff, so I didn't know that I was gonna have to deal with that. Learn how to do Starbucks, like a mini Starbucks. And also, my back started killing me, like after like 3 hours, which is crazy because that's not very long. And wasn't because of heavy lifting. It was just, I guess, just because I was on my feet the whole time. And I've been doing delivery driving for 8 years, 7 months is how long I went full-time gig worker. But I get to sit down in the car all the time, so I don't know. I'm a little concerned about that. My back has had problems. I injured it when I was 19 years old, and it's had its problems ever since then. So, but I'm no longer a full-time gig worker unless I end up quitting, walking out, in frustration during the Starbucks training. But I don't want to do that because gig work is still below minimum wage for me. It hasn't picked up. I'm online for DoorDash right now, parked at the Walgreens, and I'm not getting any orders. And there's news of the government shutdown is supposed to be over, and I thought that was what was causing the massive slowdown. And I haven't seen any spike in gig work because of that. So it might be, even more of a good idea that I got this so-called real job, because maybe that isn't gonna. I've been thinking that it was gonna go back to how it was last year. Last year it was good for Arizona's busy season. The holiday months and the cooler weather when all the snowbirds are here. I killed it last year on DoorDash, and on I preferred graveyard DoorDash and less Spark because DoorDash was so good. And now I can't make a living doing DoorDash anymore for now. I don't know if it's going to improve when that shutdown's official or what, but it's been, reported that it's gonna be coming to an end. They just have to tie up all the loose ends. So, but so far, I'm a full-time employee of the GoPuff in Chandler, and I was surprised how little drivers there was. shows you how many drivers are logged on. And the most I ever saw was 8. And then when it was busy, there was only 3 and then down to 2. And you have to put the orders on the shelves, and you want to be able to put them all on just the top shelves. And there's like 10, I think there's only 8 actually top shelves. And then so I had to start using the underneath ones. And I did this massive, huge order. It was like 2 full stuffed bags and a 12-pack of beer. And it sucked having to put it on the lower shelf because it's, doesn't have the height, and I had to like cram it in there. And so, yeah, I couldn't believe there was like 2 to 3 drivers only during the rush hour of orders. And I said something to the guy that I remember from when I was a driver, and he's like, that's because the base pay is so low. So yeah, I mean, when I started delivering, gig work for GoPuff, it was $3.25 per order, and GoPuff will give you multiple orders. They'll give you 3, 4. I think I've done 5 is the highest I ever got as a driver. And they were $3.25 each, no matter how many you had, And then they changed it they called it variable. And it went from the highest paying app, because the others were paying $2. Uber Eats and DoorDash were paying $2 base pay. GoPuff was $3.25. They went from the highest to the lowest. The variable was always lower than $2. And it was like I would have a triple, and I'd be heading to the store, the GoPuff warehouse to pick up, and it would add an additional one, and it would say plus 50 cents. So it was as low as 50 cents to do and that's how it is now still. They haven't changed that. And I confirmed that last year when I did some. So anyway, I just wanted to report in. I have to work again today. I'm a little concerned about my back thing. Like, I guess I'm not used to standing for, even 5 hours. So I went straight home, and I also can't sleep that good. Like, and it's probably because I'm like thinking about this, this new job and dealing with the Starbucks training and all that shit. So, but anyway, I think that's it. That's it for now. Gig work is still super slow. I've been online for DoorDash during this whole video over 8 minutes, and longer than that before I started recording. And I did a Einstein's Bagels this morning, and then when I was headed to it, they added another one. So I actually did a double. And I thought that meant it was going to be busy, but still no orders on DoorDash. We're parked at one of the main, places people order from. And I tried Instacart. I logged on to Instacart for 45 minutes, parked here at the Walgreens, and nothing. So far, that confirms that the real job was the right idea. And I took the minimum wage job. Like, I was looking for $17 an hour because that's what my son makes. And I had that, set on the Indeed. And I applied for, I've told you, I told the channel members, 15 to 20 jobs, and nothing. I didn't hear from any of them. Home Depot and Shutterfly, and a place called Gummy World, and a place that delivers water, and this Walgreens right here, CVS, Walmart. I applied for a shitload of different jobs and didn't hear from any of them. So I took the minimum wage job at GoPuff because it's walking distance from my house. So if this car breaks down, if the tranny goes out, I don't have to get it repaired right away. I can just cruise my electric scooter down there, or even walk to the GoPuff to get to work every day. And if you Google minimum wage in Arizona, I didn't know minimum wage was different in every state, and it's even different in cities. Like, if you Google minimum wage in Arizona, you'll see that it's going up. It's going up higher than the $14.70 an hour, over $15 an hour, coming up on January 1st. And then if you do that, Google it and check that out, you might want to consider moving to Flagstaff, because the city of Flagstaff has its own minimum wage, and it's a pretty penny. So that's why I took the low paying job to start. And then it says that you'll get an increase every 6 months. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll let you know how it continues to go. I'm getting a cheap Safeway order right now. So finally something came in, but not the Walgreens that I'm sitting here parked at. That's an apartment. I don't think I want this. I don't think I want to do that. That's too cheap. So yeah, gig work is still the same as when I, actually pulled the trigger and decided to get the real job. So I'm actually happy about that, because I was like, watch it shoot right up, especially when I heard the reports that the shutdown was supposed to be over. I was positive that's what was causing it. So we'll see if it picks up in the next couple of days, but I still have to do it on the side, so I'll still be doing videos about gig work. But that's it for now. I'll keep you informed on how the W2 is going, and I would suggest comparing your hours to minimum wage. And I used to justify it by saying, well, I'm sitting at the house and chilling and watching TV during the slow time, but that wasn't enough anymore. When the total dropped from $1,500 a week, $1,700 a week, down to $600, I couldn't justify that anymore. That I don't want to chill. I want the money, So, all right, I'll check in with you soon. That's it for now. Later.